Recording. I don't want to be recorded. All right.
Who else lost power?
Not I.
Really, Louisa? I thought you might have been the other one.
No,
I
I heard about it though.
Oh, you did?
A big wind or something.
Oh, is that right? That makes sense. I just heard, well, of course, everything shut down, and then I heard a bunch of sirens. So I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're in Pawtuckaville, right?
Yeah. More towards UMass Lowell, though.
I'm on the other side of the hospital. They try to keep those lines up, I think.
Yeah, that's good. School's not in session, so it's not a priority, but it went on pretty quick.
Weston, I saw on Twitter that there was a fire coming out of a manhole on UF,
Oh my
Which-
God.
Hi.
which might have been what you were hearing.
Well, that'll be the sirens. Yeah. Wow.
So everybody survived the heat today, huh? Not quite used to that.
No, I
Yeah.
can do without 90-degree days for sure.
Mhm.
Now we just wait for the thunderstorms to show up.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. It's very dry.
Yeah, it got a bit hot when the power was off, but now AC's back up. So
How long was it out?
about 45 minutes or so.
Wow.
Yes. But we're good now. I was worried. I almost emailed you guys, but we got Wi-Fi again, so no big deal.
Great. Well, doesn't look like too long a meeting.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. We need one more person, right?
No.
No, we need.
Brad and Kevin are both.
Kevin,
I'm
here.
Kevin,
Brad's
Hello.
here.
how are you?
Great.
You're not on the fire truck on University Ave then?
Nope.
It is 7 o'clock. Let's see, 1, 2. We do have a quorum,
Yeah, Bill won't be here tonight anyways. He's on vacation.
right?
So it's
Oh
everybody.
yeah.
Is Peter doing our notes for us tonight? I saw him a minute ago.
I believe Dylan's been a
Oh,
minute.
Dylan. Okay, Dylan's here. Good.
Right.
All right. Are you ready, Dylan?
Yep, I'm ready.
Is everyone else ready?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Brad.
Coming in from the car. I've got a little sidetracked today, but I'm here. I'm parked and present.
Okay.
No fake
great.
backgrounds for me.
Yeah, we'll wait while you're running the house if you want.
No, I'm not home. I've
Oh,
been in
okay.
Andover all day, so
Okay.
but you got me. Got good service. Ready to roll.
Nice.
All right. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the Wednesday, May 26th, 2021 meeting of the Lowell Conservation Commission. We have an order of business that starts with a continued business, even though this is the first time I think that we've included this property owner in our discussion. This is an enforcement order that was given for property at 1 and 5 Sheffield Street in Lowell. The violation was brush and tree removal within the 100-foot buffer zone of the Clay Pit Brook and the 100-year floodplain without our approval. And the brush was then piled in the same vicinity, which also was a violation. So we have a double problem here. Let's see. Is Tim Tet here with us tonight at all?
Before we go any further, I'd like to recuse myself from this. What's the policy on that for a Zoom call?
Just blank your screen, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, very good.
Easier than leaving the car. Okay, so is Sophia Tet Mung, is that? Are
Yes,
you from
Tim.
1 Sheffield Street?
It's 41 Stockbridge Ave.
41 Stockbridge, okay. You probably wouldn't get any mail if you tried to use Sheffield Street.
Yeah, I was kind of confused when we got the first one because it was for 1 Sheffield Street, the first one that we have. That's why I thought they sent it to the wrong address, maybe.
Oh, well, it's the same house, but your house does face Stockbridge, so I think 46 Stockbridge makes more sense. Did you meet with anybody on the site? Have you spoken with anyone from, I know you got the notice.
No, we haven't.
Okay. So I think you probably just heard me say that the violation was all of the cutting that went on of trees and bushes and brush. And also the fact that all of that cut debris was left in the same vicinity as the cutting occurred. So, you know, that's also a violation on the wetland. And in your case, the wetland is Clay Pit Brook. And next to Clay Pit Brook, even in fact, probably your house and yard is floodplain of the Clay Pit Brook. So could you tell us what it is that that you're doing out there?
So I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and there was like, when we first bought the house, it was not much for her to walk around. There was a lot of thorns and stuff. And this is our first time buying a home, well, my parents. So we weren't like aware that we weren't allowed to like kind of clear the back a little bit for her, because this is our first time buying a home. We didn't know that we needed to get the city's permission to do that. Because before we bought the house too, we asked the seller where the property line was, and he told us it was where it's a little stone brick wall in the back, and we thought we were just able to kind of clear it. We just weren't aware that we weren't allowed to do that.
Okay, I can understand that,
Yeah.
especially if you're new to the neighborhood and probably never experienced any of our floods. Let's see. So we know what's been done, but now we need to kind of decide what are we going to do to make it better.
Okay.
And what that includes is, first of all, getting rid of all that brush, and that would probably be good as far as your daughter's concerned as well, because I think somebody could get lost in there for days. There's so much of it.
I'm sorry, but is the brush you're referring to, is it the pile of the wood in the back that we had? Is that the brush?
It's the pile of all the things that were cut down.
Oh, okay.
All right, and it's, you know, it's not like it's orderly, it's kind of all thrown every which way. So, you know, that makes it a bit unstable. I would be a little worried about having that brush there if there weren't a wetland there, just, you know, for the kids' sake.
Yeah.
So I know you've got a new fence, and it's not that easy to maybe get into your backyard anymore with the fence there. But I don't know if that's something that you think you can do by hand. It might include hiring somebody to help you out, help you do that. You know, it's hard work. I'm sure it was, did you do the cutting yourself?
There was a family friend that helped
You
us.
had some people helping, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can rally them, but then the next problem is, what are you gonna do with it? And it has to be taken away, so it's put somewhere where it isn't in a resource area, wetland or a floodplain. Another alternative might be to get a chipper in there, chip it all up and have the chips go into a big truck.
Yeah.
And then the truck can maybe reuse the chips for landscaping or something. But what we would like is a plan of how we can make this better, kind of restore this area. And the other part of it is, once you take the green stuff down, the bushes and the trees, then the soil doesn't get held as well. And you don't have really a whole lot growing in your backyard now. I can understand why maybe grass wasn't growing because it was too shady, maybe.
Yeah.
But you need to do something to do what we call stabilize the area, get something growing there like grass, so that when it rains, the soil doesn't wash away. And you're very close to the edge of the brook. If that brook bank, the edge starts to erode and gets washed away and falls down into the water, then you're going to have a situation where you're going to be losing your backyard. So, all of this really needs to be done pretty soon. Summer, luckily, is the best time to do it. And I guess what we would need from you, if you understand the situation, is a plan. What can you tell us that you can do or will do that will make the area better, that will restore the area? It might include planting a couple of new trees along the brook, especially along the brook bank, and those roots would help hold the soil. Or shrubs. It wouldn't have to be trees. Trees or shrubs. Planting some grass, and before you do any of that, of course, you have to have a plan of what are you going to do with the brush? Where are you going to take it? How are you going to process it? Are you going to cut it up? Are you going to chip it up? And
Oh, sorry.
I know I can't, you probably can't tell me any of that tonight. But we'd like you to come in with a plan, hopefully by our next meeting. I'll let the other commissioners add on to this and see what we've left out here. Weston?
I think you did a pretty all-encompassing job with that description. It is, it's unfortunate you didn't know about this restriction, but it's a community and we're all here to help each other out. So, we'll just stop the erosion before it happens, and that's the biggest thing, I think. So get cleaned
Yeah.
up and maybe do some reseeding or some replanting.
So we're able
be
to
good.
if my dad wanted to get a truckload of dirt to kind of put it in the back to even out the ground, are we able to do that? So we can start planting more grass too.
Anything that's in the floodplain, which I think your property is, because that house was built with an order of conditions from us. So I think you're under our jurisdiction, the whole yard, not just the part that you cut.
Okay.
So when you have a floodplain, you can't bring in extra fill, because then you're taking up space that floodwaters would need if the flood comes. So there's nothing to say that you can't, within reason, smooth out those bumps, say with a little bulldozer type thing. But we would want to know about that too before you do it. We'd want to know what your plans are.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely can't bring any extra fill into the area. What exactly was done? What type of cutting was done? Were there actual trees cut down, or was it just all brush?
It was mostly all brush, like we pulled the root out. I don't know what was growing, but
Must have been vines.
yeah, it has like thorns on it and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you just come back with the plan and keep in mind that, you know, we get the brush out of there as soon as possible. And then any landscaping or any type of work you want to do is going to be subject to floodplain rules. So no, you know, no bringing in fill. If you want to smooth things out, like Louisa said, we would like to see a plan first and just different safety measures in place, like erosion control and things like that. And that's, I think, the majority of it. I don't remember. I think Louisa, you covered all the points pretty much for what should be done.
Okay, so this is for your protection too, to make sure your property keeps its value. If you notice your house sits fairly high, and that's so that floodwaters, should they come, won't flood your first floor. Everything had to be protected from the possible flood, and it has flooded in the past. So you need to be careful of your what you do in the back, or else you're going to be the first one that suffers the consequences, really. So the enforcement order we gave you said to stop work and talk to us. You can continue to talk to our office at City Hall. I think they probably gave their contact information somewhere on that, or maybe someone can send that out if it didn't. I didn't see the enforcement order or anything. But the Division of Planning and Development at City Hall has the Conservation Commission is inside there. So if you call City Hall, ask for conservation, then you can talk to one of the people that can help you out. There is some paperwork involved if you're proposing new work. It's called a request for determination of applicability, like, you know, smoothing out your backyard, and they can get that form to you and help you fill it out.
Okay.
And basically, you shouldn't be doing any work out there until you contact us. Now, should you have a great opportunity to get a giant chipper and a dump truck at your disposal in the next week, I would definitely call the office and tell them, you know, I could take care of some of this if I can do it today or whatever. And they can send out an email to us. And we could possibly authorize that work before the next meeting. But usually it takes a couple of weeks anyway to organize something like that.
Okay.
Did you have any other questions? Sophia?
Oh, I'm just asking my dad. Nothing? No.
So we had another meeting?
So
Okay.
do we attend these meetings like every week or?
We meet the second and the fourth Wednesday of the month. So let's see, this is the fourth Wednesday. We won't meet again until the second Wednesday of June,
Okay.
7 p.m.
Okay.
The 9th.
So we'd like to get you on the agenda before it has to go out to the public, if you do have something set up. So if you could call like a week before the meeting, at least, that would be great. As far as if you get something set up, then we could discuss it at the next meeting. Okay?
Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling in and joining us, and I hope you understand the situation. You seem to, and good luck with getting that organized.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, next we have some new business. It is a request for determination of applicability sent in by Raymond Boateng, 87 Meadowview Drive. And it's a request to construct a pool with a fence a large fence around it in the buffer zone of a wetland. We had a pretty diagnostic diagram sent in with this application that showed the distances of from the wetland, and it appeared to me that you know, the distances were pretty reasonable as far as staying away from the resource area. Is anyone here from 87 Meadowview?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Thanks for calling in. Can you tell us what your project entails?
So basically, it's in two. The one side is to construct the fence around the building, and I did a sketch of it in the document that I sent. And the second one is to construct the pool and to stay, you know, out of the 100 feet from the wetland as much as possible.
Okay. Did you say the fence was it wanted to go in first?
The pool, if the pool is allowed, the pool will have to come first.
Okay,
Then the fence will be after the pool.
all right. And how big is the pool?
It's 21 feet diameter,
Okay,
so it will be around above ground pool.
all right. What kind of a fence do you have in mind?
I want to build a vinyl fence,
Vinyl?
Yeah.
How big? How tall?
6 feet.
6, okay.
Yeah.
And does it go down to the ground?
I think I don't know if that would be the pillars or, you know, the middle sections that will hold the longer ones that will go in the ground. So normally it comes with, I think, 8 feet of that one, and about 2 goes into the ground and 6 stay up.
Okay, so the solid part of the fence is going to be
Yeah.
right down to the ground. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on your lot, do your neighbors have fences?
Yes. Yes. Oh
And
my.
does your neighbor's fence run along your lot line? In other words, is there
Yes.
already a fence there?
Yes. So from the front view, on the left side, my neighbor has a fence, and on my right, on the front view, like from the front, the house on the front, my neighbor also have this metal fence. But it looks like she built hers not on the line of our boundary. She just did it to protect her back because we've been seeing coyotes around. So mine may still have to come there.
Okay, so a concern that the office had, and I also have, is there's a lot of wildlife that live near wetland areas, and you just mentioned a coyote.
Yeah.
When they come to your yard, they're usually just passing through. And if you put up your fence and your neighbors already have fences, we're basically fencing off a wildlife corridor, a small wildlife corridor that animals use to get from one area to another. And what I was wondering, and especially the way you drew your plan, would there still be a way for animals? And I know you probably have deer as well there, and
Yeah.
raccoons and everything else, because I do, right down the street from you. And
Yeah.
I would like to see a way for a deer or a raccoon or even the coyote that was standing in the street in front of your house, a way for them to get to the wetland without being fenced out. Is your fence going to allow that? Is it gonna allow a place for the animals to walk through if they want to?
Yeah, so if you look at the sketch I drew, you see that my neighbor's shed, between my neighbor's shed and where I want to build a fence, I've left a space between my neighbor's shed. So my neighbor's wall does not even extend beyond her shed house over
Oh,
there.
Your neighbor doesn't have a fence in the back.
Yes, she doesn't have a fence in the back, and the fence in front that shed border with me, she built it to touch her shed over there, and the space between where I want to build mine and where she has already built her wall or her fence. So there will be a space that can move between us to the front.
How wide would that space be?
That will be around like 6 feet.
Okay. And what about the other side? Would there be a space for animals to pass by on the other side once you're done?
On the left, no. But my neighbor has not fenced her back. She only fenced the side, and she left an open space in her front that goes to her yard and her back.
Okay. The other alternative would be to leave a section of fence that doesn't come down to the ground perhaps, so that animals could go under. But you maybe
Yeah.
don't want that with the pool.
Definitely, that is my plan, to not allow the fence to touch the ground apart from the one that will go into the soil. I want there to be, that space between the ground and the fence.
Oh, you will
So-
have a space.
So it's
Yeah.
just, you're talking about the posts holding up the fence. That's the only part
Yeah.
that you want in the ground, right?
Yeah, that's the only part I want in the ground.
So how big would be that space?
That space may be like a feet.
6 inches?
Yeah, like 1 foot.
That's not big enough for some things, but, well, what does anybody think about this? Anybody
I'm-
else?
I like
don't-
that he's taking, I like that he's taking consideration for the, the pass through on one side. I wouldn't need to require it on both sides. It looks like it's pretty close to the 25 foot on the top corner of the page. It's hard to tell exactly. I could go either way on that. I appreciate leaving the fence up. 6 inches seems to usually be a good amount of space. It's enough for, something small to be able to pass through, but not big enough for a small person or a medium-sized animal. So, sounds like the plan you presented is good.
I
Thank
agree
you.
with Brad.
Anyone else? Okay, so this is a request for determination, so this looks like this could be a -3.
I'll make a motion to grant a -3 termination on
Motion.
this RDA.
Motion
Second.
made. Who seconded it? Brad, thank you.
Brad.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
1, 2, 3. All right, well, you could have used the pool today and good luck with it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Thank you, Raymond.
Bye now. Okay, moving along, we have another pool in mind. This is another request for determination of applicability. Sandra Sargent at 56 Corey Street. And this is a 15-foot above ground pool within the 100-foot buffer. But She showed me the spot and it's just behind the house. And there seemed to be quite a depression where the wetland is that I think would hold most of the water from a heavy rain. Maybe not a complete flood, but I don't think the wetland is going to be affected by an above ground pool. But anyone has, Sandra, is that you in the dark down there? Okay. Would you like to tell us about the pool at all?
Well, we would just want to put a 15-foot round pool out in the back. My 6-year-old grandson lives here, so, you know, and I wanted a pool for him.
Sounds like fun. It is a cleared area. It's not like they're taking wetland plants and digging them up and taking them off. It is lawn back there. And you know, as I said, a pool is kind of a removable object should it not work out, or a movable object even maybe if it doesn't work out in the spot you've chosen. I didn't have a concern about this one, but anyone else?
Don't we have a standard operating procedure for draining the draining process of the pool being that close to the wetlands? I can't remember exactly.
Oh,
That was, I think, our main concern here.
Right.
Yeah. How often do you drain a pool like that? I don't even know.
I think it usually gets partially drained in the winter or maybe fully depending. I don't know. I don't know about an above ground.
Okay, do you know, Sandra, what the maintenance is of that?
I don't think there's,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that much water drained at all.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the chemicals in it that are the issue. I don't know I was gonna bring this up too, Brett. I don't know, but I imagine.
Yeah, I
there's
can't
some
remember
type
what
of-
I can't remember what we said before. I think it was just an advisement, maybe, that we said, you know, just a reminder, your pool has chemicals in it. Maybe try to get it to infiltrate in the lawn when you do that instead of, you know, dumping water into the wetlands.
Okay.
I'm missing something.
I mean,
know,
would there be a hose out to a street? Would that be I don't know how.
That's feasible. I'm just trying to stay consistent with what we said before. I can't remember making any special
Yeah, I
requirements.
forget. It was like, it was literally last year.
And I think that a pool is just partially drained, right? You're gonna have regular maintenance every, you know, week or two with, you know, backwashing the filter and flushing it. And then you drain it partially in the fall before the winter. So if you do need to do maintenance on a pool and you need to do a full drain, definitely run the hose out to a catch basin out in the street.
Okay.
You should be able to hook a hose up to your waste port on your filter. That's really the only concern that I would have is just, you know, these shock chemicals getting into the wetlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, anybody? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded by Weston, and any further discussion? Do we have a vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, unanimous. Thank you. Sandra, you're all set. They'll send you a document probably in the next few days or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I still need to get the building permit at City Hall?
Oh, that's a good question. Where's our City Hall person?
I can answer that.
I would.
Dylan, do you know that?
Yep, you will still have to get the building permit. Basically, you'll have to get, I believe you'll have to get the decision recorded with the Register of Deeds. Actually, you may not because it's a Conservation Commission, but I'll check on that tomorrow. But you'll have to submit the decision along with your building permit application. So we can
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm
All right.
supposed to have it installed June 14th. So where do I go from here?
Think
Okay.
you'll take what we've mailed you, the app, your approval of the -3, and then you'll take that and put it with your building permit application and submit that.
Okay,
It sounds like you're going to be a little tight on timeline. You might want to talk with Peter about picking it up directly. The offices are reopened now, right, Peter?
Yeah, the offices are reopened, so if you want to just come pick it up tomorrow, we can do that. That's pretty easy, and then you can just walk down the hall and go file the building permit.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
The building department will say that they are allowed up to 30 days prior to issuance of a permit. But if you explain yourself, you should be able to, this is not a big lift with a major plan review. So they may turn it around right at the counter and you could have it as soon as tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the building department in Lowell, but don't sweat it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, moving on, we have a request for certificate of compliance. This comes in from a company called Oak Residences LLC at 1250 Westford Street. It was DEP file number 206161, if you can tell how long ago that one was. And I believe is this the apartment building, I believe.
Yes.
And
Oops, sorry. I apologize for interrupting. I just wanted to announce myself because I am on the phone. My name is Jennifer DiCarlo. I'm an attorney on behalf of this applicant.
okay. Would you like to explain something about the project?
You're correct. This is a couple of apartment buildings that are located on Westford Street. In fact, this order of conditions is so old, the address was formerly listed as off McGregor Road. And now it's got an official address on Westford Street. These two buildings are about to be sold, so we're trying to clean up some title issues. Again, my name is Jennifer DiCarlo. I'm with Heaney and Associates, 86 Dodge Street in Beverly. On behalf of this applicant, this order of conditions is from 1985. We were fortunate enough to be able to track down the original engineer who was noted in that order of conditions, and were able to obtain an as-built plan that was hopefully supplied to you folks on the Conservation Commission. It's dated as recently as May 8th and depicts the project as completed. It's been completed for more than 30 years. Unfortunately, I can't speak to it from an engineering standpoint. I am just a lowly attorney, but I can point the commission to a letter dated May 7th from the engineer, Steven Stupinski of Merrimack Engineering Services. He stamps that letter and indicates that the project was completed in substantial accordance with the original plans. Therefore, I'm before you're requesting the certificate of compliance so we can close out that old order.
Okay. Every time I've been by, those properties are neatly kept up. That pond was a natural looking pond back in the day, and now it's been almost completely enclosed in concrete. And to say that it's a resource is quite a stretch in my imagination of it. So I think this is a necessary thing to clean this up. I haven't seen any violations that might be occurring because of this. The damage was done before the buildings were complete by pretty much destroying that wetland. And back in those days, we didn't have as strong ways to prevent that. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this particular request? I know none of you are here.
Totally good with what you said. Ready to make a motion.
Okay, Brad, go.
I'll make a motion to grant the certificate of completion, what the certificate of compliance for this this project.
Okay, 206161.
I'll
Uh,
second
Thank you.
motion.
Motion made, seconded by Kevin. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep. Thank you. And thank you for calling in, Mr. Carlo, and the office will get that out to you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too.
You
I
too.
know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a request for a certificate of compliance from the city of Lowell. This is two different DEP numbers, 206678 and 206698. I'm not, so I guess it's the same. It's the city of Lowell. I think it's the same engineer as well for the two projects. So is there someone here that was going to present this? Dylan, were you going to speak on this or?
Hi, Karen Lisa.
Oh, there you are. Oh, how are you doing?
Hey,
Good,
Christine.
how are you? Hi, everyone.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you all too.
Love your background.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm here tonight just representing the city. My name is Christine McCall. I'm the Assistant City Manager / DPD Director. We're looking to close out both of these order of conditions for the construction of Point Park and the temporary parking that's out there. These are development parcels that we are looking to sell to a developer. So we feel that both projects have been substantially completed and new projects will be coming. And so yes, we respectfully request that the board close out both of these order of conditions tonight. And I'm happy to answer any questions people have.
Okay. Just from looking at the site, it seems like there were quite a few challenges with stabilizing that site or vegetating that site where there looks kind of dry and difficult as far as the vegetation. But like you say, some of it's going to be redeveloped, so perhaps that's not of too much concern. You don't want to spend a lot of money and then dig it up.
Yeah, so one parcel will be completely redeveloped. The other portions of Point Park obviously will remain, but there's some overlap. But the Utopia Park will remain, and noted that it needs some landscaping attention. But we've since come before the commission for other projects at that Point Park. So I think this will help sort of clean up some outstanding permits,
Yeah.
make it easier moving forward.
Okay. Well, certainly if there were any erosion occurring out there, it'd be very obvious and you could take care of it. I'm not so concerned when we have a project that comes in from the city of Lowell because we know who to yell at if something goes wrong. Does
You
anyone
really
have
know what to yell
questions?
You should know better.
Anyone have questions about Point Park? I got a bird's eye view of it today from the courthouse, and that whole area just looks so wonderful. I mean, the occasional vacant lot, but you know, compared to what it was. If there's no questions, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve sorry, I forgot what we were looking at. To grant the request for a certificate of compliance for this project.
Okay, and I wonder if we should take them separately. Let's just mention the two numbers. Okay, so we're actually issuing two certificates, I think, with this motion.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So I'll approve the request for certificate of compliance for project DEP number 2060678 and DEP number 2060698.
Okay, so two projects closing out with certificates of compliance for the city of Lowell. Do we have a second?
I'll second Perry's motion.
Seconded by Kevin. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. Thanks,
Thank you
Christine.
very
Nice to
much.
see you.
Nice to see you all. Have a good
Hi,
night.
Christine.
You too.
Night.
Thank you.
Okay, the last official item on our agenda is the same enforcement order that we started the meeting with. Only this one was directed to the owner of the other lot involved, number 5 Sheffield Street. And it's the same situation where I believe some of the brush could have been stacked on this person's land. It's a Steve O. nominee trust. Is there anyone here from the Steve O. nominee trust tonight?
So this was Steve O'Neill. I believe he's had to appear before the commission before. He owns the property adjacent to 1 Sheffield that the Tett family owns.
Yeah.
I think it was you, Louisa, that went out there. It looked like some of the tree work went on to the 5 Sheffield.
I believe it probably went over the property line, yes.
Okay. Steve asked if he could show up to the next meeting as he had a family commitment tonight.
Okay.
So we'll continue it.
Yeah, you guys can choose to continue it if that's what you want, or
Okay, I wonder if he could somehow be made aware that the other party is going to be working on a resolution to the problem out there, and if they would like to work together on it. Or perhaps he could be helpful enough to show the people he sold the house to where the property line is.
okay.
And certainly if it's not, if if none of it is occurring on his property, then we can just deal with the other family.
Okay.
But certainly I would think he'd want to know if his property has been affected.
So we could continue it, or we could. I
Well,
suppose-
the enforcement order is still open, and I'm unclear as to whether you issued 2 enforcement orders or the same one to both parties, or I didn't know how that worked.
So
gonna
we
look
issued,
that up too.
we issued it to 2 parties separately. So we gave one to the Tett family at their house, and we mailed Steve's his, and I also gave him a phone call because we had it on record.
So do we
Okay.
need to ratify the first enforcement order then from the very beginning? Because that's a different enforcement order than the one on.
Oh, we did forget to do that. Thank you, Perry.
Yeah.
Good catch. So yes, we can ratify the first one, and we ratified this one at the last meeting, did we?
Yeah.
Even though no one was here.
Yeah, so what actually had happened with those 2 is that Steve had sold this house to the Tett family like in December, I think. So it was not updated in the city's records who was the owner of that property. So we
Right.
originally issued it to Steve at the Tett family's property.
Right.
So the one that we ratified, I don't know exactly how that would work. It didn't really apply to Steve because he was no longer the owner of that property.
Okay, so in any case, we're going to keep both of them open. They both received an enforcement order, and it's either one, the other, or both properties that are involved. So until the situation is determined and resolved, I think we would want to ratify the first one tonight. If we've ratified this one already, then we'll keep it in force. That's my thinking on it. Anyone else have some ideas? So we're still waiting for a resolution of this, and we don't exactly know which property is involved. So I think keeping the enforcement orders active is necessary.
I think we should probably just make sure that both, or maybe even all 3 enforcement orders have been ratified at this point.
Okay, good point. And we'd also like to see everyone involved at the next meeting. I don't know if the Conservation Office can convey that message to them. perhaps ask them for an update and keep it on the agenda for the next meeting, and maybe we'll get some progress shown. Okay, so let's do some ratifications. Let's re-ratify anything that wasn't ratified before, and make sure that both property owners have an active enforcement order. Ratified enforcement order. Would someone like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to ratify the enforcement order for 1 Sheffield Street.
Also known as 46 Stockbridge, according to the property owner. So
Also known as 46 Stockbridge.
right.
I'm
Okay,
recusing
let's-
myself from this vote.
Right, okay. So we have a motion to ratify the 46 Stockbridge, the people we talked to tonight. Seconded by Weston. Any
Yes.
further discussion? All those in favor? Raise your
Aye.
hand. Okay, so that's ratified. Not being sure of the ratification status of the next one, can we just be sure that we have ratified the enforcement order for Steve O nominee trust of 5 Sheffield Street? Would you like to make that motion, Perry? To either ratify or re-ratify?
Yeah,
depending
I'll
on
make
what-
a motion to re-ratify the enforcement or ratify for 5 Sheffield Street.
Okay,
Second.
motion made, seconded by Brad. All those in favor? 1, 2,
Aye.
3, 4. Okay, that one passes. So we'd like to see both of those parties at our next meeting with some progress shown, hopefully. Is there any other business before we go on to the minutes? Anybody have any enforcement situations they've noticed, driving around, picking up trash?
Just there's more trash.
Okay,
up.
so it's been a little quiet lately. Probably get a few more pools for the next meeting.
Yeah. Haven't seen much going on near the wetlands. Been taking a walk down towards the Drakeit line down by me.
Yeah,
But no, it looks like it's raining cats and dogs now though.
it does look a little dark out
You
there.
can hear the thunder going now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay,
raining where
well-
I am in Tewksbury.
Kevin must be getting the same storms as me now.
Okay, well, we better wrap this up before the electricity goes out again. Bill is not with us, and I don't know whether he's changed his style or not, but I'm unable to open minutes in his app that he uses on my computer. Does anyone want to make a motion about these minutes? I think they've all been edited by Bill.
Can you remind me what dates they are?
It's the executive session of April 14th, a meeting of April 28th, and a meeting of May 12th, our last meeting.
Can we do them all 3 together?
If you want to make the motion.
Go for it.
Make a motion to approve all 3 sets of minutes in front of us here.
Okay, motion made to approve the minutes that are on the agenda tonight. Seconded by,
That's motion.
okay. Any discussion here? Okay, raise your hand if you want to approve all these minutes. Get them off the agenda for next time.
Aye.
All right,
Quick,
thank
rush it through.
And thank you, Bill, for
Thank you,
editing
Bill.
all of those. All
And
right.
in his stead, I'll say, go Bruins.
Oh, and another game, they're still in it.
They're on to the second round.
Next round
Yeah, a
now.
whole nother round of games.
Yeah, they're on a little break.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you all for joining us tonight from odd locations, like cars.
Yeah.
Thank you. For
Before we
getting-
go,
Go ahead.
Saturday's cleanup is at Arch Street underneath the Middlesex Street overpass coming from the Lord Overpass.
Oh,
we'll
that's
be-
a
Nice.
terrible
Be down there
sight.
by the train tracks.
Ooh.
And we'll
Okay,
be there. We'll be there from 9 to noon. It is Vanna Howard's birthday party, and we're gonna be tackling that area. So we've got a little bit of work on a slope near Lord Overpass. But we should have a good crew, so come join us.
I'll
Great.
make it. I'll make it if my son isn't being born. I'm not sure.
Cool.
Well, like, that's a pretty good excuse, Kevin.
Yeah, we're in the limbo right now, just waiting. So
Oh, wow. Congrats, man.
yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Okay, well, lots to look forward to. Trash pickup, babies,
Summer.
summer.
Happy
Heat
Memorial
wave.
Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day.
Okay, well, thanks for coming
Can-
tonight, everybody, and enjoy the good weather for a couple of weeks and see you soon.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn made, seconded by Kevin. All those in favor? Thank you. Good
Aye.
night.
Bye.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a good night.